The importance of biodiversity was strongly articulated at the United Nations Biodiversity Conference in Montreal, Canada. Let's talk about biodiversity. It is the number and variety of living organisms present in a specific geographical region. It includes various plants, animals, and microorganisms, the genes they have, and the ecosystem formed by them. It relates to the diversity among living organisms on the earth, including the diversity within and between the species and that within and between the ecosystem they form. Let's see what is 30 to 30 pledge. In December 2022, 188 countries representative adopted the agreement to halt and reserve biodiversity losses by reserving 30% to the world's land and 30% to the world's ocean by 2030. Let's see what's going on in India. It currently hosts 17% of the planet's population and 17% of the global area in biodiversity hotspot. India can guide the planet in becoming biodiversity champion. Programs with potential. Union Budget 2023 mentioned green growth as one of the 7 priorities or Saptarishis. The National Mission for Green India aims to increase forest cover on degraded land and protect existing forested land. The Green Credit Program has the objective to incentivize environmentally sustainable and responsive action by companies, individuals, and local bodies. A Mangrove Initiative for Shoreline Habitats and Tangible Incomes is sufficient because of extraordinary importance of mangroves and coastal ecosystem in mitigating climate change. Prime Minister Program for Restoration, Awareness, Nourishment and Amelioration of Mother Earth for reducing input of synthetic fibers and pesticides is critical for sustaining our agriculture. Let's see what is Amrit Dharohar scheme. It directly mentions biological wealth and is expected to encourage optimal use of wetlands and enhance biodiversity, carbon stock, ecotourism, opportunities and income generation for local communities. The Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change to stop the draining of Haidarpur and Ramsar wetland in Uttar Pradesh to safeguard migratory waterfowl is encouraging. How should these programs be implemented? A science-based and inclusive monitoring program is critical for the success of effort and for documentation and distillation of the lesson learned from replication nationally as well as globally. New mission and programs should effectively use modern concepts of sustainability and valuation of ecosystem that consider ecological, cultural and sociological aspects of our biological wealth. Prioritization of the benefits to resource people and fund services as the economic foundation for generating value has enormous potential for multiple sustainable biological economics. What is Green India Mission? Implementation should focus on ecological restoration rather than tree plantation. Choose sites where it can contribute to ecological connectivity in landscapes fragmented by linear infrastructure. Choice of species and density should be informed by available knowledge and evidence of resilience under emerging climate change and synergies and trade-off with respect of hydrologic services. Each of these efforts must be inclusive of local and nomadic communities where these initiatives will be implemented. Traditional knowledge and practice of these communities should be integrated into the implementation plans. Let's go a way forward and see some more points. The emphasis on green growth is a welcome step for India's biological wealth as the country is facing serious loss of natural assets such as soil, land, water and biodiversity. Amrit Dharohar, with its emphasis on sustainability by balancing competing demands, will benefit aquatic biodiversity and ecosystem. The future of our wetland ecosystem will depend on how we are able to sustain ecological flows through reduction in water uses in key sectors such as agriculture. Encouraging changes to less water-intensive crops such as millets, investment in water recycling in urban areas using a combination of grey and blue-green infrastructure, Each of these programs has the potential to greatly improve the state of our nation's biodiversity if their implementation is based on the latest scientific and ecological knowledge. Each program should include significant educational and research funding, critically appraise and bring awareness into India's biological wealth. The nation's mission on biodiversity and human well-being, already approved by Prime Minister's Science, Technology and Innovational Advisory Council, will immediately launched by the government. This mission seeks to harness the power of interdisciplinary knowledge for greening India and its economy